Oh,
Come
I'm telling
Oh, they're
on,
cheating, man. That's cheating.
yeah, boy. Marvel Us reviews. You knew what time it was. You did this on purpose. You just in time for Figure Flex Friday, baby. Yes, you are.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just going to be doing another collection update. I fell heavy into the Hot Toys collecting. My collection is pretty much doubled in size. As you know, if you watch one of my previous videos, I actually bought 20 Hot Toys in 1 month, and at this point my collection is pretty much doubled. I do have a few figures that are en route, but today I'm going to be showing you guys what I bought. I've been doing quite a bit of collecting backwards, so that kind of gets pretty expensive, to be honest with you, but there were a couple of figures that were released a while ago that I really wanted. So we're just going to dive in and take a look at my latest pickups, and I'll talk a little bit about why I chose these figures, kind of where my collection is headed, what direction I want to go into, and also some storage options long term, what I want to do, because right now I'm using DTOS, but I do have a plan to switch out to something new. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So starting out here, one of my more recent pickups here, we have Ahsoka Tano, and this is the version based off of the Clone Wars. And as you guys can see, she does have a little hint of Rosario Dawson in there. It is based off the animated show, of course, but I think they did a really good job of bringing this figure to life. I like the cloak and the fact that you can have her hood on if you want. There you see the lightsabers. You can also peg those into her leg if you want to have her store them there. And my 501st Deluxe, I switched out to the 332nd head to have him posed up with Ahsoka. I do have another one down there with Rex. I also have Darth Maul from the Clone Wars on the way. Stay tuned for a review on that. Hopefully I'll have that within the next couple of days. Really excited to see that figure in person. Next up, we have the Stormtrooper squad leader along with the Shore Trooper squad leader. No Star Wars collection is complete without a Stormtrooper, so I had to go ahead and pick him up. I really do like the orange pauldron that he has on there. Makes him stand out. Gives a little bit more vibrancy to the figure, so it's not just a basic plain white Stormtrooper. And of course the Shore Trooper squad leader. I really like this figure because it has a lot of posability to it, because he has on the fabric pants, and so you can get him in a lot of nice poses, take some good pictures, and just have a lot of fun with him. Now we'll jump back to Star Wars for one last figure that I'm kind of saving, but for now let's take a look at the new Marvel figures that I added, starting with in-game Thor. I went ahead and added him because I already had Captain America as well as the Mark 85 versions of Iron Man, so figured I might as well go ahead and complete the big three. So we got Thor posed up in here with Captain America. I switched out to the broken shield and the masked head sculpt as well. So those guys are looking good in there. Moving down, I picked up the 2012 version of Captain America. I have him holding the little timepiece there that came with in-game cap. A lot of people don't like this this outfit, but this is actually one of my favorite outfits. I love the vibrancy of the color. They did a really good job of capturing that in this figure. And again, you get pretty good mobility because he does have a fabric suit. So definitely one worth picking up, I would say, if you're a fan of Captain America. Next up, we have Spider-Man in the anti-ox suit from the PS4, PS5 video game. I really like the base on this, where you have Doc Ock's tentacles coming through the bottom. It's one of the main reasons I picked this figure up. I mentioned in my previous video that I don't like having more than 2 figures per shelf in the DTOF. I do need to get another one for Marvel. So for now, I just have them all 3 down here, but I will be getting another DTOF so that I can move Punisher War Machine from the bottom of this one. Moving on, we have Hawkeye right here, and this is the deluxe version that includes the accessories for Ronin. Unfortunately, mine had an issue. Basically, the vest for Ronin, it wouldn't zip up. After unzipping it, it kind of fell apart. The zipper completely broke, so pretty much unusable. I did order another one though, so hopefully that one doesn't have the same issue. And I'm gonna go ahead and have Ronin posed up in here with Black Widow, who I also ordered. She's on the way. She should be here in a couple of days, so But this figure is really one I would still recommend you guys pick up if you haven't. It's underrated. A lot of mobility because, again, he's wearing that fabric outfit. This is a figure I would highly recommend that you guys get. I started to pass on him just because Endgame has been out for so long right now that I didn't know, if I wanted to go back. I just don't have that same level of excitement for Endgame as I did, a few years ago. But I went ahead and got him, and man, I'm glad I did. He turned out to be maybe my favorite figure out of all of them, to be honest with you, just because of the flexibility, the different accessories that he comes with. And this is just a good look for Hawkeye. I think this is probably the best look that I've seen for Hawkeye in the MCU. Of course, that's debatable, but for me, the black and gold really stand out. Here we have Black Panther from the Black Panther movie. I went ahead and picked up the throne as well, and this is an example of collecting backwards and it getting pretty expensive because this guy is definitely not cheap to pick up on the secondary market. You can get him used and save a few bucks, but I wanted a brand new one, so I went ahead and paid the price for it. Really like the figure though. One thing I will say, anytime you're buying older figures, you do have to kind of be wary and make sure that some of the glue isn't coming loose and things like that. But I pretty much lucked up and didn't have any issues with my Black Panther. I do have him standing kind of in a museum pose, and that's mainly just because I don't want to deal with the wrinkles in the suit. I want to keep this figure as pristine as possible. Next up, we have Thanos. I still have him in the light box. I was taking some pictures of him. This is the battle damage version of Thanos, as you can see. So you get a lot of good detail in the armor. Also, his blade is broken, and a lot of people were talking about the red in this double-bladed sword and maybe it potentially being blood. But I watched Endgame the other day and specifically paid attention to the scene where this actually broke, and what caused it to break was actually the Scarlet Witch. So it could be that the metal got heated up enough, or it could just be a result of her powers having that kind of reddish color to them. But again, definitely a figure worth picking up. It's the only Thanos I have in my collection, and I debated between this one, the clean version of the armor, or the Infinity War, and glad I went with this one. I really do like the look of it. Next up, we're going to move into DC, and this is my first and only DC figure that I picked up so far, and it's the Batman Beyond from the Arkham Knight video game. Really cool figure. Another one that I would recommend because even though he has all this armor in there, you can still get good rotation. You can get him in a lot of different poses. I really like the material they used, and he comes with a bunch of nice accessories. So if you're on the fence about getting this figure, I would say definitely go ahead and get it. It's well worth the money. And again, I will need another DTOF to go ahead and start setting up my DC figures in. This is the only one I have so far though, so I'll just have them set up on the shelf for now. And finally, moving back to Star Wars, the one figure that I wanted really bad and went ahead and broke down and paid the price on the secondary market is Jyn Erso. This is the deluxe version of Jyn, and really just an awesome figure. If you're on the fence or debating between which version of Jyn to get, I would say definitely get this version. Make sure you get the deluxe because she comes with a bunch more accessories. They give you a lot of different posing options and taking pictures. I had a blast taking pictures of this figure because you can get her in so many different configurations. Her weapon, you can turn it from a pistol to a full-on assault rifle to a sniper, and it's just a bunch of different things you can do. This is definitely one figure I would say that you need to get if you don't have it already. The person that really influenced me to get this figure is Lael from 1/6 Scale Man. I was watching one of Justin's Collections live streams, and I asked the question about, if you guys had to pick one figure to represent what Hottoys is all about at its core, who would you pick? And Lael said Jyn Erso, and I was already looking at her anyway, but his endorsement pretty much sold me on her, so I went ahead and picked her up after that. And then I went on to use one of the pictures I took of her for Figure Flex Friday on Lael's channel, and he pretty much liked it, so had her up there flexing. It was a good time. if you haven't checked out Figure Flex Friday on Leo's channel, make sure you do that. It's a lot of fun. It's something I look forward to pretty much every Friday, so definitely check that out. So that's pretty much it, guys, for my updated collection video. These are all the new figures I have. Like I said, I do have some en route still. And the last thing I wanted to touch on was really just storage options, because right now I'm using DTOFs, and like I said, they're doing the job for right now, but as you can see, I'm quickly running out of room. I don't want to pose any more than 2 figures per shelf in a DTOF. So I think I'm going to get probably 1 more DTOF, and then I'm going to go ahead and start working on other options. And basically the other option, you guys can probably guess, is the Maja case. So I want to go ahead and upgrade to Maja cases. I'm hoping that the production time of the Maja cases increases so that, you know, you can get them quicker, because now people are having to wait for like a year, you know, maybe a little bit longer to go ahead and get their orders shipped. So hopefully we don't have to wait that long for it, but I'm going to go ahead and put my order in. I was basically waiting to see about how many I would need, and so now I think I have a pretty good idea. So hopefully the Maja cases won't take too long to get here, but we'll make it work with what we got. So anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscription button, join the family here. I got a lot more videos coming out. We're gonna get in, probably the next video is gonna be the Darth Maul Clone Wars review, because I've seen some interesting takes that people had on that figure, and saying the neck is too long, but I don't think that's the case. And I think this is a figure that a lot of people are sleeping on right now, that they may want to end up getting or may regret not picking up in the long run. So we'll talk about that once I get the figure in hand and, you know, get my real impressions of it. So thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for your support. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.